What's going on, everybody? This is Blockchain Bullz, and today we're going to talk about things to know about getting started in cryptocurrency. This is the most common question that people new to cryptocurrency and blockchain really want to know. So if you're excited about this video, then crush up the like button and let's get started. Also, you could share this video right here to help others get started with cryptocurrency. So send this out to your friends and family if they're looking to learn about this industry and this asset class that's up and coming. So you're going to want to know, what is cryptocurrency? And cryptocurrency basically is a decentralized financial system. And it is a financial technology upgrade. You've heard of fintech conferences. This is where bankers go to talk about the latest and greatest technology in the financial world. Cryptocurrency is a financial technology upgrade from fiat currency. So understanding the difference between fiat currency and digital currency is basically internet money, whereas gold was like physical world money before you had the internet. And fiat currency is kind of like the middle ground, which is like the US dollar. So understanding the difference between that can be really useful. So now we'll get into the real juicy part of it, which is the financial aspect of it. How much should you invest, where to go? But before we talk about where to go, we're going to talk about how to know how much you're going to invest. They have a general rule of thumb. Never invest more than you're willing to lose, okay? But if you're someone who makes $50,000 a year and you may want to just get well practiced in cryptocurrency, come into the market with $100 and just kind of play around with that and watch and see where it goes. Don't get too distracted by the volatility because it can swing really fast in one direction or another. So go in there with maybe $100 to $200 just to kind of play around with, get your feet wet. Once you get a little bit of an idea of how that looks, then you can decide how much you want to scale. But the number one rule is do not invest more than you can afford to lose. Now, you will hear stories about people who took their house, sold their house, put all the profits from their house, and took it and put it into Bitcoin, and then they became Bitcoin millionaires and this and that. That's not for everybody. That's a little bit too much risk. So for the average person, just go in there with a couple $100, get a feel for it. They usually start buying the top tier cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin, some of these top tier cryptocurrencies with low exposure and high opportunity in the long term. So the next thing you're going to need to decide is how to pick your exchange. An exchange is where you exchange fiat currency for digital currency. A lot of people, they go through Coinbase to start, but one way to really get started with it, probably the best way to get into Bitcoin right off the bat, is Cash App. I'll put a link to Cash App in the description if you don't already have it. Most of you probably already have it. The second most practical way to get into cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is through Coinbase. The big key with these to know is that you don't own your private keys with that, which is something we'll touch on in a later date. About the private keys, we'll have to talk about that later on in the video, but for the most part, Cash App, Coinbase, probably the most practical fiat on-ramps, okay? That's way to get US dollars exchanged for Bitcoin, and then once you get the Bitcoin, you can start talking about trading and how to do all that, okay? So when it comes to deciding what coins to pick, I always recommend starting in the top 10. You know, you got the Bitcoin, you got Ethereum, you got Litecoin. Tether, don't worry about the Tether coin right now. That's actually a stable coin. We'll talk about that in another video. But then you have Bitcoin Cash, you have a myriad of different coins, Polkadot, Cardano, but usually I recommend sticking to the top 10 or more specifically the top 5 just to get started. So with investing in cryptocurrency, it's good to have a perspective that is correct, okay? What I mean by that is understanding that this is a financial technology. You've done your research, because doing your own research is really important. That's why you're here watching this video, right? But having the right perspective. Sometimes having a short-term perspective can be really anxiety-ridden for you. You can get really stressed out if you have a short-term perspective in this. So if you take more of a long-term perspective, a 1 to 3 year approach, what you're basically doing when you do that is saying, hey, I believe that the world of money needs an upgrade. We need to go away from paper cash to a digital currency. I can understand why the internet would need its own unique currency, because that's why you're essentially investing in Bitcoin, because it's the internet currency, right? So you're understanding this, you're coming to that conviction, and then you're having a perspective that says it's going to take 1 to 3 to 5 years for this asset class to mature and develop beyond where it's at now. All right, this may be a little bit more of an advanced level of cryptocurrency training, but we'll just say it anyway. Learning how to send and receive cryptocurrency. Like I said, it is a little bit more advanced, but understanding that there is a little bit of a process to sending and receiving. The industry and the asset class in and of itself is developing better technology for this, like one-click diversification. But right now we still have to take a full public address, which is an encryption code that looks like 1S4M, all these encrypted numbers. It's really confusing. You have to copy and paste it into your public address withdrawal memo, and then send it to the person that's receiving it to their wallet. This can be a little bit complicated. As you can see, it is not easy to explain, but at the end of the day, you got to make sure all those letters and numbers are there in the alphanumeric code. That's your public address. But at the very beginning, you just want to know that that's something you're going to want to learn, how to send and receive cryptocurrency. And with that being said, you're going to want to know the difference between your private key and your public address. Your public address is how you actually receive the cryptocurrency. It's kind of like your email address. Your private key is like your name and your password, and no one should know your password, right? So that's your private key. Your password is your private key, right? And then your public address is how you receive the coins, the tokens. So one thing you're going to encounter right off the bat is security measures, and that's two-factor authenticator. That's an application you'll download on Google, on the App Store, called 2FA, two-factor authenticator. And what that does is it allows you to have a second layer of protection in case someone were to get your password to your email or to your exchange account or your wallet. So two-factor authenticator, you're going to want to understand that. I'll try to put a video for you guys together so you can take a look at how 2FA actually works, but it's something you're at least going to want to know about. Hopefully most of you already know what 2FA is. Now I know at this point in the video you guys are feeling a bit overwhelmed with things to learn, but guess what? It's not that hard. This stuff, it sounds like it's a lot, but more than anything, what I'm doing is I'm giving you the proper fundamentals, the proper tools to do the job. With that being said, I want to also introduce you to referral programs. So as you begin to learn about cryptocurrency, you're going to have friends and family who are going to ask you about it. You send them this video, but you also can send them referral links to maybe Binance or Coinbase, where you get rewarded for sending them the link to sign up also. So learning about all of those sign up reward programs can be pretty useful, because it's a way for you to make free cryptocurrency just by helping get your friends educated on the new asset class. And again, this is a little bit more of an advanced level training, but I would like to introduce you to a word called staking. Understanding how to stake coins and what that does. I do have a video that I'll link to in the comments below in the description that you guys can watch for more details on this, but this is basically a way to earn something that I consider comparable to interest. And some of these coins, projects that you'll invest in will have staking programs that offer as much as 12% per year. So if you hold 50 coins, you'll get 12% of that ratio. Anyways, understanding staking is really important. So another thing that I'm going to recommend is learning terminology that you'll hear quite often, like FOMO, fear of missing out. When someone says, oh, you're just FOMOing into a position, they're saying, oh, you're just buying when it's going up because you have fear that you're going to miss out on it. Sometimes FOMO can be your worst enemy. You don't want to FOMO too much, because remember, you're not trying to buy high and sell low. You're trying to buy low and sell high. Isn't that how you do it? If you're buying a house, you want to buy it for $200,000 and sell it for $300,000 so you could get $100,000 in profit. That's the goal, right? You don't want to buy the house for $300,000 and watch it go to $100,000. Another terminology that you'd want to know is FUD, F-U-D. That's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. What that basically means is that you're in a position, you bought it $100, it goes down to 90, you see the news is making you scared about that decision you made to invest. So what do? You panic sell. Why? Because someone gave you a whole grip load of FUD and scared you, made you have weak hands, decide to push the sell button, and then 2 weeks later the coin turns around and it goes back up to 110 to 120 to 200 to 300 to 400. So be careful getting FUDded. There's also another term out there called HODL, H-O-D-L. What they're saying is just hold. Be patient. Don't be so impatient. So when someone says HODL, they're really saying hold. There's a whole bunch of terms that you can go over that you'll learn about. That's why you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, because the goal here at Blockchain Bullz is to give you guys the information that you're going to need to move forward as a more advanced level investor in this digital asset class known as cryptocurrencies. So in conclusion, I hope this video helped you guys understand a little bit more about cryptocurrency, the blockchain, and Bitcoin. There's a lot more to learn as time goes by, and that's what makes it exciting, because you're going to learn about a whole new technology that's really considered Web 3.0 by many. Okay, so as time goes by, you'll start to learn and feel more confident about everything you're doing. You'll probably likely feel really good about your decision to learn about blockchain and cryptocurrency. And I encourage you guys to have fun with it, make friends, get to know other people who are also doing this, and we'll see you guys on the next video.